Nausicaä, be calm.
We're doing this for the good of the planet.
All this killing must stop!
She certainly knows how to read the wind.
And we're back again. Christian, buddy, it feels good to be home.
Oh, it's so nice to hear from you again, dude. It's been too long.
It's been too terribly long. I feel like the last time we got together for anything important, because One Piece doesn't fucking matter, was City of God. And man, yeah, I've just been itching. I've been itching, brother.
Oh God, yeah. And you know that as of the time of this recording, that just released somewhat recently. So
I did hear. I heard in the Discord, but I haven't listened to the recording yet. I really hope that I have decent takes and not horrible shit takes like I usually do.
Nah, I'm sure it was great. I also haven't listened back to it yet, but man, I'm excited to relive that whole thing again. But we're not here to talk about City of God this time. We're here to talk about a different movie. Something a little bit, just like a little bit more lighthearted than that one.
Well,
and that's almost not a joke.
Okay. I wouldn't have phrased it like that, but okay. I think I see where you're going with it. Maybe like in the present tense of the events of this movie, it's a little less bad, but like also this is a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by plague.
Well, you know,
yeah.
You know, they're getting by,
right? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's go with that.
Let's read a summary before we get too many details out.
Yeah. Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind. 1984. Welcome everybody to the time before the time. You know how there's time, right? Well, this is before that, so we're going to talk about some of the things that you might have known about before because it's always a good time to learn. Are you ready, kids? Good, because we're starting off with a knee-slapping good time, or should I say a hand-slapping good time. You might not have known, but the high five is only about 50 years old. That's right, the celebratory motion everyone knows and loves was only invented a mere half a century ago. Jesus wasn't dapping on the apostles, George Washington wasn't given any skin to the revolutionaries, and Scooby-Doo and Shaggy weren't smacking hands until they made it past the LSD trip of the 70s. Anyway, now that I got that fun fact off my chest, there's a movie summary that has nothing to do with what I just talked about. Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind is an animated post-apocalyptic fantasy film centered around a young girl named Nausicaä, who is the princess of her little village in the valley. The world in which her and her people live was consumed 1,000 years ago by a plague of spores and toxins known as the toxic jungle. There are giant bugs aplenty and plenty of other humans even more toxic than the spores they breathe in. One day, one such group, the Tolmekians, invade Nausicaä's valley after one of their other planes crashes down. Aboard the crash plane was an egg containing an ancient warrior that was said to have been present during the 7 days of fire, that faithful time 1,000 years ago. Now, Nausicaä must balance the factions intertwining all by herself, as the giant bugs will not stand for nature to be swallowed up by the greedy humans or the destructive titan. Will she succeed? Or will the Earth be further plunged into a chaotic, toxic hell? All right, fantastic. Great summary, buddy. I love reading that, honestly.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I was shocked to learn too that the high five's only about 50 years old.
Yeah, that's honestly so crazy. I mean that's way more interesting than the other thing that we watched. I'm just kidding. Actually,
yeah, we really don't need to talk about this movie. We can lock into this high five thing. You know, it was invented by a baseball player, some guy on the Dodgers. Yeah, crazy.
No, I had no idea, but I can I be that guy? I do actually want to talk about this movie. I like this movie.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's fine. We can talk about this, and then we can get back to the high five thing later.
We can come back to the high five. We can come back to the high five.
We'll round it out.
I want to start, Christian. Fun facts about this movie. So I'm not gonna make it anybody's secret. I've seen all of the Ghibli movies. I grew up on Totoro. Believe it or not, Totoro is like the first anime thing I have ever consumed in my lifetime. It was something that my parents had picked up from the like Blockbuster or something in like the bin of like crappy VHSs or something back in the day. Like, movies that your kids will love. And the original Totoro with the original Fox Searchlight dub is still a classic, near and dear to my heart even to this day. Nausicaä and the Valley of the Wind is actually not a movie we had in my household, but a friend of mine did the original VHS for Warriors of the Wind, which I don't know if I'm sure we're gonna get into it. Well,
we're totally gonna get into that. But they really had Warriors of the Wind?
Yeah, dude, Warriors of the Wind is the first time I've ever seen this property.
Oh God. Okay.
So hold on. I gotta be totally 100. I was a child when I saw Warriors of the Wind, and I have not gone back since. This is my buddy Trey back in the day had a copy of Warriors of the Wind. We definitely watched it when I was like in the wee 5 to 7 age. But can I tell? I don't think we've ever seen it since. I think I remember or know of its existence when this Nausicaä the Valley of the Wind got an actual like true English distribution version that was not Warriors of the Wind back in the year of our Lord. I think it was in like 2013 or something like that. They finally announced that they were gonna, guys, we're finally make Nausicaä the Valley of the Wind, and it won't be ass. It won't be made up like nonsense. And meanwhile, I was like in the back of my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that they like did that. They made like a fake Nausicaä.
Yeah,
this is me just like all like secondhand learning all this stuff. So I want to be totally upfront.
Let's reel it back just a second though. What is Warriors of the Wind specifically?
Okay, so audience, if you are unaware, Warriors of the Wind is this movie, but it was the original dub version for this film in the States, and it features a very different script and dialogue that just completely throws out the themes of the original in lieu of like a more action-oriented storyline against bugs and using bugs as weapons. Like even like the town in the Valley of the Wind were like, oh yeah, dude, we gotta like use the bugs to like fight our enemies, whereas like in the actual movie they're supposed to just be like hermits that, you know, don't really want any fucking fighting. And like I think Nausicaä, to be fair, was also with her. Oh, they changed her name. Her name was like Xandria or something like that, or like Xandra.
Yeah,
I do actually remember that. A bunch of them have
different names.
Very different names. Her name was Xandra, I believe, and like her character was like mostly the same. She was just kind of like, I don't want anyone to fight anymore. But I remember the old lady; she was nuts. She was like, oh yeah, we got to use these bugs to absolutely. Oh yeah, she was a crazy lady. she wanted to murder everybody. She was absolutely wild. Anyway,
just the complete opposite.
The exact opposite. Warriors of the Wind is a version of this movie with a script that is not really made with the original messaging or script in mind. And they also cut like XYZ scenes or like re-edited it here and there to make it look more action-oriented. And even the poster, which I don't know if you've seen the poster for this, Christian.
I'm so glad you said it.
Even the poster looks like something.
Do you have one in front of you right now?
I do. Let me
no, I have one. I have it too. I'm good.
Yeah. I have mine right in front of me, and it looks like, I don't even know how to describe. It looks like Jaws meets Dune, and Nausicaä, who is on this cover, is barely referenced in the top right corner.
Yeah,
it features like 3 other people that aren't even in. Like I think the left Grim Reaper looking motherfucker is supposed to be Yuppa. Maybe there's a Pegasus. I don't know why there's a Pegasus.
There's a Pegasus. This has got to go up on the social medias whenever this upload goes live. But there is a Pegasus. No reason to be here. There are actual machine guns that these guys are carrying. Not a thing in this universe, like substantially anyway. Like there's guns, but like not in this style. There's giant robot man, who is what you're talking about, is like maybe Yupa, but he's got a giant built-in gun. There's, for anyone who's actually seen Nausicaä, they're riding on top of the giant ancient warrior, and then to the right of who I guess is supposed to be the kid from Pidgeot, what's his name? Asbel, I think. Or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Asbel to his left is a smaller Cthulhu version of the giant warrior from the ancient times.
That's that one. This like swamp
with a sword, by the way.
With a sword, by the way. Swamp Thing looking motherfucker. I have no idea what the fuck he's supposed to be doing.
No idea. The only canonically accurate thing on this is the giant warrior and Nausicaä riding her glider in the background. The background of this poster.
She's
she's blonde when she's not blonde in the movie either.
They did that too. Yeah, so I even have a little bit of context in like my adulthood. I now know why it like this was how it was advertised, is because, you know, in the States we don't believe in female protagonists, A, but B, also we were just afraid that children would not want to watch it unless it was more action oriented. So I guess the marketing department went whole hog on the guys, look, we're basically like a really cool edgy version of Star Wars. We've got flying horses and like dudes with swords and guns.
Yeah, and they just do the anti-environmentalism propaganda goes back to, you know, like they cut a lot of that whole narrative out as well.
Yeah,
just most of the theme of the actual movie.
No, they went into,
and by the way, for anyone wondering, the aforementioned characters that are on the poster that aren't in the regular movie, they're not in Warriors of the Wind either.
Yes, yeah, no. Warriors of the Wind. I want to be very clear. Warriors of the Wind is not like a made version of this movie. It's just a re-edited version. All they did was cut certain scenes together and change the script around. This fucking cover, it really has nothing to do with the main story of Nausicaä or Warriors of the Wind. It's just a really rad looking 80s time, I guess.
Yeah.
What a fucking fever dream this fucking movie is. But, you know, actually the movie, I will say this. As a child, I obviously had no context for what the real Nausicaä was like. I didn't know what I was missing. I didn't understand like what I had to gain by seeing I thought it was fine. As a child, I was like, yeah, this is cool. I didn't think it was Totoro cool. I remember thinking in my mind, I'm like, dude, Totoro's way better. Why would I watch this? And this is still, you know, tiny Brendan who doesn't really know what anime is. Like he's right on the cusp of discovering Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Little Brendan had it right, to be clear.
He was just like, yeah, it's fine. Totoro's way better, though. And it wasn't until I was like a young adult that I was like, oh, I see. So it was dog shit on purpose. And the real movie was just never made. Got it. Yeah, I think it was a big deal when this movie first got announced that it was getting a true dub. With a fantastic cast, by the way.
Oh my god, just completely stacked dub cast.
Yeah. Well, Disney has a habit of doing that. So for those that are unaware, I know a lot about this because I have done a lot of digging into the Studio Ghibli English distribution specifically. There are different companies that dubbed Studio Ghibli movies specifically before Disney and Studio Ghibli had their like permanent contract. Hence why Warriors of the Wind existed as it did. That was before Disney had acquired the rights to all of distribution of Studio Ghibli. And when they did acquire those rights, they were like, "Oh, well, we'll go back. We'll make Nausicaä the Valley of the Wind." Actually, I'm gonna be that guy. Most of the like Disney version dubs of the Ghibli movies are ass. Now, the ones where it's the only one that exists, I guess you can say they're fine because they're all we get. But like Totoro, the original Fox Searchlight Totoro, banger. Absolutely demolishes the Fanning sisters as their version of the Totoro siblings. The original version of Kiki's Delivery Service, fantastic. Fucking banger. The later one, not so much. Really bad. I would say Howl's Moving Castle, pretty good, but it's the only one that exists. It's the only one that exists. It's all we get. So I don't even know what I'm missing, to be perfectly honest. Kind of like how Warriors of the Wind was. I didn't know what I was missing until I finally saw the original one. So that's most of my Brendan lore on this. I think I watched this in earnest for the first time, probably back in like 2017, 2016, in that era, like right before I graduated. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm glad I got to experience this. This is probably my second time seeing it, this version of it anyway, in my adult life. but like I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't wait to watch Nausicaä Valley. But it is a banger. I always thought it was really good. But I did see the original one like 2 to 3 times in like the 5 to 7 year old span, then just completely forgot it existed. Other than the time that I remember hearing that it was going to be aired on Toonami when I was a kid, which is another thing entirely, which I'm pretty sure was still the Warriors. And I remember thinking like, nah, I don't want to watch it with commercials. Fuck that. I'll just watch the VHS at Trey's house.
Yeah, it was surely it was Warriors of the Wind still.
I assume. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure.
I think it was 2005 that they did the current good dub.
Okay, 2005. Much, much later than I thought.
Yeah, I think it's 2005. I don't have the number pulled up in front of me, but it was definitely in the 2000s.
Okay, yeah.
I want to go back quickly and just mention who some of the English dub voice actor cast is for that new version. So yeah, you might know one Patrick Stewart, I imagine, from like some little projects like X-Men or Star Wars or Star Trek, excuse me. He was Yupa in the English dub. Uma Thurman as Kushana, who was the queen, the other princess. Queen lady. Shia LaBeouf, young Shia.
So can I tell you too? When I was watching this even today, I was like, "Motherfucker, that's Shia LaBeouf. Was he actually that dude?" Like I had to like remind myself. I'm like, "Son of a bitch, that's Shia LaFucking-Buff."
Yep, young Shia boy.
Guy.
I should have go back and look and see how deep in his career this is, because this is if 2005 is the right number that I've got, that's 20 years ago,
dude. This has got to be Holes territory.
It's got to be, right?
I think so. No, I think this has got to be like right after Holes came out, or like right in that like span right before like Transformers was about to become a thing. He was probably still deep in the Disney pocket, and then like he got signed on for Transformers, and then next thing you know, the rest is history.
Yeah. Let's see. 2000. Do I have it right? Maybe not. Oh, come on. Give me the voice actor roles. Oh, wait. Okay, that's not right. Okay. Well, I tried just looking on Shia LaBeouf's IMDb, but it has Nausicaä 1984, which he was not. She was not the English voice of.
He was not the English voice of Asbill in the 1984 version of Nausicaä Valley. No. Definitely not.
But if 2005 is right, then he was kind of deep into a couple of other things. He was Holes was 2003. He had been in a bunch of other things. So anyway, that was a side tangent. Only other one I'll mention, Mark Hamill in the dub.
Dude, he does a lot of voice work. He's always done a lot of voice work for various projects.
Oh yeah, I know. He's in a smaller role in this one, not super major. He's the mayor of the Pajit people. The guy with like the red forehead diamond or the ruby, whatever it is, from that threatens them. Yeah, there's others that I don't necessarily recognize, but I'm sure somebody does. Completely stacked dub cast for this. They all heard about it and they were like, we're gonna do this shit. We're gonna do it right this time. We're gonna do it right by Nausicaä and her valley.
We're gonna make sure that Nausicaä and her valley are taken care of. So anyways, that's my exposure to this property. Oh, and also I'm gonna be honest. I remember like as I was a young adult, when I saw it on Toonami, like, hey, we're going to play Nausicaä the Valley of the Wind and Princess Mononoke on Toonami. I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I think Princess Mononoke is good, but like Nausicaä was like, I remember actively thinking like, nah, I'll pass on Nausicaä, but Princess Mononoke though.
That Princess Mononoke. I actually don't know. Now I think I need to go back and rewatch Mononoke too. My gut is telling me that I like Mononoke better, but like right now, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to watch Mononoke somewhat soon to like get an accurate remembrance of it. I think last time I watched it was like a year or two ago. I remember really liking it. I think I just need to refresh myself on it, but they have very similar themes to them and ways that the plot plays out. You know, the environmentalist narrative, the female protag, all of this. While we're still on the topic of Warriors of the Wind, and we've mentioned Princess Mononoke, do you know the story of the katana, Brendan?
No. I do not know the story of the katana. Enlighten me.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, okay, he's so excited.
All right. So as we know, when Nausicaä was originally released in the Americas, it got heavily cut down into Warriors of the Wind.
Yes.
One of the next movies, or if I think it was the very next one, but
oh no, I do know this story. This is the Harvey Weinstein bit, right?
Yes, it is. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
So when Mononoke was going to come to the States, they brought it to Harvey Weinstein, who was involved with Disney at the time, and he proposed basically the same shit that they were going to do to Nausicaä, where they were going to heavily cut it down because they're allergic to female protagonists, and they were like, we're going to cut this, we want this done, we're only going to distribute it this way, and Miyazaki was pissed. He went, absolutely fucking not. And you know who else went absolutely fucking not? His producer, Toshio Suzuki, who was even more pissed, so pissed, in fact, that he sent a katana to Harvey Weinstein that had engraved on it. It said, no cuts. And that's it. They sent a whole katana to Harvey Weinstein's home, let him unbox it, and it said no cuts. And Harvey Weinstein went, all right, bro, you got it. You got it. And from that moment on, Miyazaki films, Ghibli produced films, were never touched ever again. They would eventually get it in writing, as you mentioned earlier, where like nobody's allowed to touch this and they get to do it their own way.
Yeah.
But that is the inception of it, was this man, this fucking aura farming god, sending a katana to Harvey Weinstein, telling him, we're not cutting a goddamn thing and you're gonna like it.
Don't you dare bastardize my beautiful property ever again. Well, because I do know the story of how pissed he was when he realized just how butchered the original Nausicaä was when the 1980 whatever version came out. And my understanding was I did know of I thought it was a letter. I didn't realize it was an engraved katana. That's fucking rad.
That's fucking metal as shit.
My understanding was that after it was pitched for Princess Mononoke, to do the same thing, he just sent back a notice saying absolutely no cuts. You will not be doing this again. No. Simply no.
Yup. Simply you will not.
Meanwhile, Harvey's like, all right, whatever. I got better things to do, I guess.
That's fine. I got a shady shit to do instead. That's fine. You can have your little animated movie.
Shady shit to do in the meantime. But yeah. So you have no other exposure beyond just having seen this movie probably in your mostly adult life later.
No,
later
so I for this movie cast was the first time I'd ever watched Nausicaä. I've not seen this film before.
That's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, I mean, my Ghibli exposure is actually fairly limited. I have seen maybe with this one half a dozen of them, and so yeah, my backlog of the Ghibli films is extensive. I have more of his to watch than I have already watched. I have this one, Spirited Away, Mononoke. Yep. I have Boy and the Heron, and I have Totoro, and I feel like there's one I'm missing that I can't recall. Oh, no, not Howl. It's the
Ponyo.
No, the World War Grave of the Butterflies.
Oh. Yeah. Fuck, dude, that's crazy. I mean, you're missing a few bangers, if I'm going to be honest.
No, I'm very well aware. Yeah, I haven't done Kiki's. I don't know Howl's, and there's a plethora of other ones that I can't.
I mean, can I pitch you on Howl's Moving Castle really quick?
By all means.
Bale's in it. That's it. Christian Bale's is Howl.
Oh, okay. Well, I also watched basically all of them in sub, so I'd have to go back.
Dang it. Come on, man. This is stupid.
What do you mean stupid? This is I'm watching in its purest form.
The doves. Whatever. Garbage. This
is how you end up with Winds of the Warriors of the Winter Warriors.
Brother,
or whatever.
I don't want to live in a world where the dad in Ponyo isn't Nicolas Cage, okay? That's just not the world I want to live in.
Is that the world we live in? Ponyo?
Correct. That is the world. That is the world we live in. Nicolas Cage is the dad in Ponyo.
I gotta watch Ponyo.
Let me triple check, make sure I'm not mistaken. I know he's in one of them. I'm pretty sure it's Ponyo.
Oh, I gotta bump Ponyo on to the top of the list then, I think.
Top of the list. Oh no, it's Liam Neeson. Damn it, I'm an idiot.
Damn, all right. It's not top of the list, but it's Liam Neeson's still pretty good.
Matt Damon's in that one too. I forgot
God
about
damn,
that.
dude. all these stacked ass casts.
I know, they do it all the fucking time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's silly.
All right. We got Wind Warriors out of our system. Let's talk about what we actually watched.
Yes.
So, to start off with, we were introduced to not Nausicaä, but first Yupa as he is making his way home from some journey that's never really explained what it is outside of him just being an adventurer guy who wants to go out and look for different, like basically the state of the world that they live in. And try and connect whatever dots he can. But in specific, he's just kind of out there. There's really no explanation for what he was doing other than that. So he's making his way back, and
Yoba's
he's
cousin, by the way.
What'd you say?
Yoba's cousin.
Yeah, Yoba's cousin Yupa. Different brothers from different mothers.
Brothers from different mothers, in fact. Yes.
Yeah. So we get a little brief introduction to Yupa, who we don't actually know who he is specifically, but later on we will get to know him more. And then we'll cut after a little while to Nausicaä herself, as she also is just kind of whimsically going about her business in the toxic forest area. She's looking for supplies, it seems like, and they tend to make use of discarded insect hides and shells for tools and weaponry and so on. So she goes out of her way as she finds a giant ohm shell, a shedded ohm shell, which are these giant maggot-looking bugs with a bunch of eyes, and like they're the size of like football fields. Like each one is a football stadium, basically. Is the scale, and Nausicaa's a normal human size, so you get a feel for what exactly is going on here. And she picks a piece off of it. It's like the eye of one of the shell casing for the eye, and she sits underneath it as a bunch of like toxic snow spores fall around her, and it looks like snow, and it's very fun looking. She's having a great time. She's into nature, and then she hears something. Brendan, what does she hear?
Well, she hears and this is when she hears gunfire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she hears gunfire because Yupa, the lad, he unfortunately is either fucking around in the toxic forest himself or just nearby, and he's freaking out a local home that's rampaging now because he's like, "How dare you step on my property?" or whatever he's doing. I don't know what Yupa did to piss him off. Yupa's such a chill guy. Like, I don't even know why the Ohm's attacking Yupa. Like, now that I've seen the movie again, these things seem to be intelligent enough to not get super worked up over everything. But for whatever reason, this dude just hates Yupa in this moment.
The only thing I remember, I don't remember why he had to do it, but he had to fire his gun for something. I don't remember. His life was threatened in some way. He had to fire his gun, and they all fucking hated that. So.
Oh no! You know what it was? I remember now. They did justify this. There was an insect that was carrying away some like game that it had captured or wanted to eat or something, and he mistook it for a baby. So he shot the bug, and then the rest of the bugs were like, "Bruh, you don't do that.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that here." And then before Yupa can be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that was a literal human child." He's being chased by the desert worms of this universe. But yeah, no. Then we meet up with at this point we get exposition drop. We now understand our characters a little better. We got this random nomad Yupa guy who seems to be a friend or a teacher to Nausicaä. Then Nausicaa's like, "You come back to the village, woohoo! We would love to have you." And we meet the village again. And then the stage is set. We are now in this world attributed by bugs. They believe that at some point in time, they're going to be like a special messiah that's going to come in with fields of gold and a blue shirt for some reason. I don't know why the blue shirt is so important, but for whatever reason in the story, there's a lad with a blue robe and fields of gold trailing behind him. We'll take them to the promised land or whatever. We learn about that prophecy. And then very soon after, all hell breaks loose. A plane is coming in. I remember when I was a child, I did think that this was actually rad. This is like baby Brendan's first exposure to low-tech cyberpunk adjacent things. And I was infatuated. Actually, this is a true story. This is one of the reasons why I love Castle in the Sky to this day as probably one of my favorite older Ghibli movies. I remember I watched Castle in the Sky for the first time when I was probably like 10-ish years old. And it has a similar shit where like everything looks very low tech, very old fashioned. Like they clearly they're living in like the 1800s, but they have planes. And that's just fucking cool to me.
There's like a heavier steampunk aesthetic to that sort of thing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm a
just
sucker for
fucking
steampunk
cool
too.
to me. So they have that in this, where there's just like this cool, like moderate, like little village in the middle of nowhere. King's dying, by the way. And we're learning more about like how the poison works. They're just trying to survive. They're just trying to hang. We briefly learn about the 7 days of fire, which is the name they gave the period of time that blew up their whole world. Which I will say this: if you look at the synopsis of the film, they say it was a nuclear war that ravaged the planet for 7 days. But then in the movie, they explicitly call out the Titan people that just like destroyed the planet. So at first I thought that like the people are just stupid and the bombs were an allegory for. I'm sorry, the giants were an allegory for the bombs that they dropped and destroyed their planet. But then like also there's a literal giant as a main plot element.
Then we just have a baby one sitting in this crashed airplane too. So it's like, well, all right, which one is it?
It's like I guess the giants must have really existed, and they must also leave the land ravaged, a la a nuclear explosion of some kind, or whatever was going on there. But anyway, yeah, plane comes down. It's being covered with bugs and whatnot. And then, this is my only question about this part of the movie. Why was that plane being bombarded with insects? Because we learn later that the reason why it crash landed is because it was under attack by the rival nation that wanted their baby Titan back. And I don't know how the bugs play into that.
Well, am
I crazy?
That airship was still one of the airships that the Tolmekians had, like the other princess, like her people. That was still one of their planes. They just had trapped on it the princess and the egg. The egg of the giant was found in the other territory, the Pajit territory.
Yes, but what I'm saying is when that plane was coming down, it was actively being assaulted by bugs or giant insects.
I don't think it's ever explicitly stated. Nausicaä just surmises or like posits that it's probably because they tried to hunt some bugs or shot at some bugs like flying in their path or something, and then they got really angry and swarmed the cockpit to try and kill everybody.
I guess that's kind of fair. Yeah, that makes enough sense. Because I was going to say, like, they have this whole subplot element of like, oh no, we got spores in the forest. We got to kill all the spores as quickly as possible, which really wouldn't exist at all if the plot was contained between just a war between two factions trying to steal a baby Titan.
Yeah. It's never really explained. Where the spores also came from this instance, right? With the crash?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the crash, we also surmise that like, they brought spores along with them and they spread throughout the valley and throughout the forest. We need to find them and destroy them, burn them away, blah, blah, blah. Up until they accidentally miss one and it just infects the whole fucking forest.
Yeah, goes up real fucking quick, dude. Like, they miss a couple and suddenly within 24 hours, the whole forest is completely contaminated. They're chopping trees down at the roots and pulling out sticky toxin stuff. And I'm like, God damn, dude. Like this
shit works fast.
This shit spreads like wildfire. No pun intended.
Get it?
It's crazy. Like they look up one day or the next day, and the kid's like, "Holy shit, Grandpa! It's everywhere. The forests are contaminated, and there's just giant globs of spores in the trees, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like a fucking
then the
nightmare.
old lady channels her winds of the Valley, Warriors of the Wind version of her character and goes, burn it all.
Burn it down.
We must burn it all to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, that must have been an easy edit for anyone making Warriors of the Wind.
It'd be like, oh, but we can keep her as crazy as we want here, buddy.
We'll just keep cutting back to this moment. Oh, Baba, what do we do about the bugs? Burn them. Oh, Baba, the forest is covered in toxins. Burn them. Oh, Baba, we're being invaded by the other country who has vastly superior technology to us. Burn them.
well, if I'm not mistaken, in the movie she said we must use the bugs to kill them.
yeah. Well, sorry. Yeah. Then we do that instead.
Basically, her energy was the plot point at the end of this movie, but like just they're gonna use that as their ace in the hole.
Yeah, it's just the be all end all. Let the bugs do it. Let the horde of bugs kill them all.
I think even like at the end of the movie, she's like, "Our own hubris is to blame for this," or something like that. Lady, don't lump me in with you. You're the crazy one.
Yeah, you're the one talking about using the bugs. I just want to farm.
I'm literally just here. I'm living. I'm hanging out.
This blind old bat is just going on and on about burning things and making the bugs do all the work.
That's what I'm saying, dude. But yeah, we then open up to our first encounter with the Tolmekian invasion. Some dudes come up, and I love this too. This army comes out of nowhere. They all start flying in droves. Like night-looking motherfuckers are coming out of planes. All the townspeople are obviously like, "Oh wow, this is weird," and I'm scared. Well, the first thing they fucking do is storm the castle of the country, or of the town, I guess. Country's a strong term. It's like a single town is this entire like village or whatever. They storm the castle of the village, murder the king, and then when Nausicaä, and rightfully so, is like defending her people and like, you know, taking out her anger on some of the people that literally just walked up and murdered her dad. They have the gall after Yupa comes in and like tries to steady the situation. The Princess Queen lady goes, "Did you think that we came here for just to fight? Of course we came here to talk it out." I'm like, motherfucker, you literally just walked in and murdered a guy. What do you mean you came here to talk?
We walked in and murdered the guy and are like, but we just want to talk.
You literally came here, murdered the king, and now, we're just here to talk. Jeez, don't get your panties in a twist.
Don't be so sensitive.
What are you on about? Don't be so sensitive. Like, fuck you, dude. What is wrong with you?
And then the rest of the time too, they're rounding up everyone very non-violently. But the king, king's gotta fucking die. The king's gotta get
King's just fucking dead.
Sick, dying, half dead, bedridden king of this fucking village. They're like, no, we gotta kill that motherfucker. That guy gotta die.
He's gotta obviously die. And like even when like the dude is like trying to tell her, he's like the hand of the princess or whatever, he's like trying to explain the situation. He's like, "We're not here to fight. We are here on Tolmekian business. We promise we will leave as soon as we can. Blah blah blah. We just want you to work with us for now. Your king, who is dead now, he would want you to work with us." And then everyone's like, "The king died? What?"
Yeah, just completely disconnected from what exactly they had just done.
Jesus fucking Christ. Then Nausicaä comes out and goes like, "Okay, everybody, please, like, we don't want anybody else to die. Let's just do what they say, and this fucking nightmare will be over." I feel bad for her in this moment, but like in my mind, I'm just like, you guys what are you even doing? You came here, murdered the king, and now you're like, guys, just like fucking chill, dude. Like,
it's okay. We're just gonna kill your king, and then we're gonna murder all the bugs, and we're gonna get rid of the decay, and then we're gonna live on this land again.
It's like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, then this is when they give the pitch too, where they're like, "We want you guys to join our empire, and we're going to burn all the toxic forests to the ground, and we will soon have the power to do so. Are you with us?" And everyone's like,
So I'm like, why do you need 60 farmers to help you when you have all of this technology and probably your own fucking country's worth of people.
Facts. Like, why are you here right now? If like, why are you asking us to like work alongside you if like what you're doing isn't totally fucking lunatic? Like we were minding our own business. You do you on your time. We have nothing to do with your ass.
How are we gonna help you guys? We don't know how to use your tanks. We have flamethrowers, but that's it. You're planning on raising a god. How do we fit into this equation?
Yeah, so for folks at home, so going back to the baby Titan. So we learn in the show or in the movie that the thing that caused the apocalypse was the arrival of several Titan figures that all just like miraculously turned to stone and were littered about the Badlands. Like we see like these stone figures. In my mind, I wasn't even convinced the first time I like saw this movie as an adult, that because I didn't remember all the details. I wasn't even convinced that was even like an actual Titan thing. I thought it was just like a statue that they've like interpreted as like a Titan, and like the real story is that they drop nuclear bombs. Well, audience, no, there is an actual organic giant fuck off Titan in some kind of egg that they stumble upon and they try to regrow in this film.
Yep.
Which I'm like, oh, okay. So we really did have those. I'm curious what your perspective, since this is your first time. Did you have the same impression that I had when I watched this as an adult when I watched the true Nausicaä version and not the Warriors of the Wind version?
Well, they go through at one point, and I think it's like slightly. There's a point where it makes me kind of question whether or not this was just humans drove the fucking earth into the ground with industrialism, or whether it truly was these giant figures, because close to the beginning they show you snippets of what the 1,000 years ago, what the 7 days of death and fire looked like, and it has these fucking Titan characters in it. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, there's giant. There's we got Titans in this movie. This is an Attack on Titan crossover, and this is Nausicaä is just Titans in the future after Eren Yeager makes the rumbling happen.
I love that you said that.
This is just 1,000 years post the rumbling.
Yeah, post rumbling.
So for a majority of this movie, I'm thinking that is the case. These giant Titans ruined the earth. They blew it to hell and melted everything. And then, there comes a point where it kind of seems like, oh, maybe there was actually like a human element to the destruction. The real world, our world analogy is, well, yeah, I mean, it's it goes both ways. It's an environmentalist thing, but it's also lightly World War II, dropping of the bombs type deal, which Miyazaki has done on plenty of other occasions as well. The Tolmekians are completely analogous in almost every way to Nazis, so you can take that one for what you will, and maybe we'll get into it a little bit too even. But yeah, I'd say for the most part, I pretty much thought it was the Titans, with a small smattering of questioning whether or not humans actually did this.
Fair enough. Well, there was an actual fucking fuck off Titan in this. Very organic too. Like I don't even know how to describe this to the audience, but it was like made of muck, but like the muck was skin, and then there was a real bony torso underneath when this thing came out to do its thing for 5 minutes towards the end of the movie. Man, this thing is weird looking. I don't even know like what the human race cooked up to make this fucking thing.
Yeah, this is a soft boiled Titan. This was not fully cooked.
It's a soft boiled Titan for sure.
Yeah, this Titan was over easy, very liquidy.
But then after after we get introduced to the Titan thing, then the princess, the mean princess, the one from Tolmekia, she's like, all right, well, we're gonna go to my neck of the woods so that I can give a report, and I want this princess to come with me. Because we got to keep moving the plot along.
Of course.
She's got to bring Nausicaä because she's the protagonist. So yeah, they do that. They fly away. They start heading to Tolmekia. And what happens other than a single fighter with a literal child in it comes out of nowhere and literally decimates the whole fleet. I really want to paint this for people. So what happened was there were like 4 or 5 major transport bomber-esque ships that landed in the valley. That, well, there might have been like 20 of that actually landed in the valley, but 5 took off to go back home to Tolmekia, while the rest stayed behind and, curated this, giant fuck-off Titan. And the 5 of these ships are literal, like, bomber-looking equivalent. They have guns on them. There are people manning cockpits and guns and stuff. Well, one fucking TIE fighter comes out of the blue, driven by a child, and just annihilates all of them. I'm honestly like, bro, how is there even a war? You guys suck.
Yeah, how did the Pajits lose?
So bad. How are the Pajits losing? And then cut to even later in the movie, which I don't even want to get into really that bad. I mean, I know it was like the air-to-air warfare was probably not in the Pajits' favor in that moment, but like, you're telling me that one kid and a TIE fighter can beat 5 major warships versus one cruise liner with a gun on it falls victim to just another cruise warship, whatever, later in the movie. I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure the wrong driver is behind the wheel later in the movie for the Pajit side. You need to get the right driver.
Totally. The little kid, a 12-year-old behind the seat of this fighter, and it won't even be the first time something like this happens either. Just repeatedly, over and over again, the Tolmekians are proven to just be idiots behind the wheel of superior technology. Yes. And because later, the random dude from the valley who has an eye patch rolls up in one of their literally the only fighter plane the valley owns. They have one to their name, and this guy's driving it, and he rolls up and he fires one burst like Luke Skywalker shooting the shot into the Death Star hole and fucking ruins that last plane like it was nothing. Is paper.
Oh, buddy.
So the Tolmekians are just, it's like they stumbled into this technology that somebody else made, and they just went, I don't know, it's pretty fun. I'll go for a joyride. They don't know anything about what they're doing behind the wheel. They have the most Star Trooper aim I've seen in a long time.
It's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. But yeah, no. So this is when Asbel, what's his name again? Asbel comes into the play, also known as Shia LaBeouf for me, not for Christian, but for me, it was Shia LaBeouf. He shows up into the movie, and he just completely decimates. And now this is the one question that I still have to this day. So there is a point in this movie where, Nausicaä does this thing where she does the classic I'm not going to harm you move by putting her hands up and just like, T-posing on those haters all the way down, hoping that they don't shoot her back. And well, it works, by the way. Shia does not shoot on her in this moment when he's flying the best TIE fighter of all time, by the way. And in my mind, I think he calls her the name of his late sister, right? That's what happened.
No. You're conflating two different moments, actually. So
okay.
So the moment you're talking about is later in the movie when
no, it happens twice.
I think that's
the crux of my question. It happens twice. It happens once with Asbel, and then once with that other guy way later in the movie, where he's like, I think he says the same thing, and I'm like, who is this this miraculous daughter in this family line, and why does everyone know her story?
Does it happens with Asbel too?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So I think So this is why I was bringing this up.
The only part I remember for Asbel is like I guess I remember what happens after that more, which is just that he gets distracted by Nausicaä saying something, and then he gets shot by the Tolmekians, and then like goes down later.
That does happen as well, but just before that, he was about to shoot down the ship that she was on, or like the party ship that they were trying to drive out to save the other carrier ship that is falling down into the poison abyss or the poison forest or whatever. And he's about to shoot them down. And then she does the move, which gets a flash of his sister, who I assume was his sister, because I think that's what he called her. A flash of his sister doing the same T-pose move with bombs exploding behind her. And I'm just like, okay, so clearly he's been here before. That's fine. But then I just don't understand why it happens with this other schmuck later in the movie. Why does everyone have this flash of seeing?
I don't know. I guess he was also there when she did the pose or something. I don't know.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something, because that's the only thing in this movie that even today it just kind of perplexes me. I get doing it to Asbel once because it was literally his sister, and he probably lived through whatever traumatic moment that memory comes from, which does not really get expanded upon in the film.
No,
we just accept that she does whatever this sister does at some point in the past. And then this other guy that we know nothing about, he just also knows whatever story that is, and he hesitates and goes like, I can't do it. It's just like, what's her name? I'm like, what do you, how do you know? Where are you
like
coming
a princess.
From? I don't know. Either way, I thought that was kind of funny. So I just want to make sure I wasn't the one that was confused. That was the only thing that confused me in this movie.
Yeah, I just assume the princess. By the way, we never really mentioned her specifically, but we meet her when the plane goes down earlier in the movie with the in the valley. She is the one person that Nausicaä catches like the eye of and realizes she's in distress on this plane. And then when it crashes, she goes down to see if there's any survivors. Of course, she happens upon the princess, and the princess tells her that she's actually the princess of Pajit, and had been taken prisoner by the Tomekians and so on and so forth. And so and then we will learn a little while later when we first get to talk to Asbel that they were twins, Asbel and the princess, who I think is named. I just don't remember what it is.
I have no idea what it was.
So, and then for some reason, this other random goon at the end of the movie just also was there when that thing happened. So,
okay, I just needed to know for sure that I wasn't absolutely fucking crazy. but yeah, no. Then we land in the poison. This is honestly probably my favorite part of the movie. There's so much like fucking beautiful animations and set pieces when they're in the poison forests, man. You know, I love Ghibli. Ghibli knows how to make some fucking set designs.
Totally.
Absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, that like hand-drawn, painted aesthetic and so on. Just a mwah. I think I randomly saw a number that they had used 200 and some odd different colors to do all of the drawings and stuff for this movie, which I think at the time, if I remember the fact correctly, was a lot. That is since, obviously, with the advent of digital media, been blown out of the water. But at the time, pretty impressive for all of the hand-drawn stuff that they had to do.
And then, like, I think they catch the. Oh, by the way, that ferret, the fox ferret, should be absolutely fucking dead. Just so we're clear, I want to put that on the table right now. At one point, they fall into the poison forest, which is notorious for being so poisonous that you literally can't breathe without like a gas mask on. And they point this out though. They give you a canonical reason as to why the ferret is fine. I ain't buying it though, Chief. Nausicaä goes like, "Here, hide in my shirt. I promise we'll be done soon." And then she's like, "Don't die," for like 5 seconds when they first get in. Never references it ever again. And they spend a good while in the poison forest. They're not there for like 15, 5 minutes. They're in there for like an hour.
Yeah.
And we don't acknowledge the fact that the ferret is still in her shirt, probably choking to death.
Here's my thing, right? They are they're a bit loose with how poisonous these spores actually are. When you're introduced to the idea of it, up to this point in the movie, we have seen people with this world's version of actual gas masks. Yupa's got one, Nausicaa's got one. We see all the villagers having them. Even the Tolmekians have their version of it. Pajit puts a scarf around his face.
True, very true.
Pajit,
they do that.
Pajit uses a neck gaiter. He not an actual mask. Not doing anything for the sports. Shouldn't be doing anything anyway. I completely at that point I threw out all of the validity of like the toxic nature of this the decay cloud. It just meant it meant almost nothing instantly. Like I realized that was not just a style choice, that was his actual protection against the toxicity, and I went, "Oh, okay, never mind. None of this shit matters." She goes, there's a point where they're in the forest and their individual masks have come off or whatever, and she gets hers back on. She go, "Oh no, it's when they're going to Pajit and it's been so wasted by bugs and stuff that brought the toxins with them that it's now also overrun by a cloud of decay." As they approach, she goes, "Asbel, put your mask on." And he just pulls up his little neck gaiter, and that's that. I went, "Oh, okay. So actually none of this means anything." Which had kind of already sort of been the case, because when they crash in the forest off of her glider, and then they end up in the quicksand. Before that, her mask gets knocked off like immediately. They hit the tail of that flying bug. Her mask flies off, and then they crash fully. She's without a mask for a solid 5 to 10 minutes probably, and it means nothing. Earlier in the movie, she takes her mask off for 15 seconds to talk to the guys on the other end of her in the other ship when Asbel first ruins all the Tolmekian aircraft. She can't get a good message to them through the mask because it's muffling her voice. So she takes off the mask, delivers the message, puts it back, and then it's like I breathed in accidentally. And then, but at no other point does it mean anything. No, it doesn't. So, you know, it's fun. I like the movie overall. Like I'm making this criticism because it's dumb and like ultimately doesn't mean anything, but it takes a little bit of the stakes out of what exactly is going on.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that assessment, unfortunately.
Can we go back for like 2 seconds though and just mention how much, like, I wish we had gotten more Yupa. I want more.
Dude, yeah.
They mentioned that Yupa is the greatest swordsman like in history or something too, and we get the barest minimum glimpses of this twice. Once when when the king gets assassinated and he stops Nausicaä and the Tolmekians there from killing each other more. He just tanks a stab from Nausicaä to his wrist and then is holding a dagger to one of the other. I don't even remember. I think it was just a random dude. I don't think it was the other princess.
Yeah, it was just like a random knight guy. Yeah.
Tanks that. And then later assaults the last remaining of the Tolmekian airships and single-handedly. Oh no, he was taking it back because they had boarded the Pajit ship, and so he just washes them all in 10 seconds flat.
I love this too. Like what Nausicaä like just caught up with like the team, and she was like, "We gotta go back. The whole village is about to be destroyed. This, that, and the other thing." And then Yupa's like, "I know what I have to do." And then he just basically cannonballs himself onto the ship and just lays siege.
He just ruins their entire careers for 15 seconds. Gets the enemy commander or whoever, lieutenant, pinned against the wall, and that guy's like, "Oh fuck, okay, you're actually really good, just like everybody says. I don't want none of this smoke. You can have it."
that did happen. That was really funny. Yupa's a gangster, dude. He's a sleeper.
Dude, Yupa goes sicko mode. He's incredible. I wanted more Yupa I wanted him to actually start killing people. Even Nausicaä kills people. When they kill her father at the beginning there.
Oh yeah, no, she goes crazy.
Back, I don't even remember where she got it from, but she's got this like metal pipe looking thing, and she's just bashing heads in, breaking swords. and taking no names because she don't need them. And before she stops, she kills like 5 guys. She kills like 5 men in also the blink of an eye, because I'm sure she's been trained by Yupa this entire time, or at some point. And I wanted a little more of that. I wanted more of that smoke.
I hear that, brother. Unfortunately, this is not Yupa's story. It is Nausicaa's.
No, it's Nausicaä of the Valley, not Yupa of the Valley.
not Yupa of the Blade.
No. He's got the power of bugs and anime on his side.
That's what I'm saying, brother.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, at some point in the toxic forest though, they get caught in quicksand, and then they get found, they like fall beneath the forest or whatever. At this point, this is when Nausicaä realizes that like the poison. So this is supposed to be like the thought provoking part of the movie. The forest is trying to heal the planet by absorbing all the toxins and stuff within the earth, and then it's trying to filter it to return it back to untoxic earth, which she actually, earlier in the movie, she made a very similar discovery. She realized, well, I guess she didn't realize that it was filtering all the toxicity in the earth, but when we first meet her, we now get to piece this part together. She was taking samples of the plants within the toxic forest. That was like what originally brought her to the forest, and then she just so happened to stumble upon the shell of an ohm. And we find out that after her dad died and right before she was leaving on this journey to go to Tolmekia or whatever, she went down into her happy space, which is like a garden that she keeps beneath her room in a secret chamber or whatever that Yupa finds her in. And she's got all these plants from the toxic forest that she had been watering and curating privately with like normal, fresh, clean water. And miraculously, all the plants are no longer toxic. And she was like, yeah, I was doing this science project to see if I could maybe one day find a cure for my dad. And then Yupa comes in and goes, you discovered that they're not permanently toxic? You've just changed everything about our whole world.
You've got Nobel Prize award winning research down here, and you've just been leaving it?
Yeah, she was like, I guess I have no reason to keep this going anymore. And then Yupa's like, I don't know. We don't know that yet.
What are you talking about, lady?
That was really funny. I got a good chuckle out of that.
Yeah, that was
Yupa
great.
was like, no, this is useful. We need this.
Yeah, no, more of this, please.
So yeah, then later Nausicaä discovers that like it's the extension of that is if it's not pure and clean, well, what is the plants doing with it? Well, if you go beneath the roots and whatnot, you can find that it's got fresh oxygen, fresh soil. Well, soil might be a strong term. Sand. It's got dirt. It's definitely dirt down there that's supposedly non-toxic because the plants have been absorbing it and decaying, and then they just like become normal fuck off plants or whatever. And then Nausicaä loves it. She's like, oh, this is great. That means we got to leave this forest alone. Yeah, and then this is the classic anime bit of like, okay, now we're gonna go from burning the forest to be like, no, protect the forest, don't do it,
save the trees.
The classic move, save the trees, which I love a good save the trees. Now my second question, but I think I'm less confused. But now we move on from the toxic forest. So after the toxic forest stuff. The gang without Nausicaä, because Nausicaä and the what's the other nation called? Pubeland?
Pajit? Pubeland. Bro.
Pajit. The Pajit kid. They go back to Pajit, and then the others they go back home. Or rather the valley people take the other princess hostage because she's a annoying lady. And in Pajit, for whatever reason, a bunch of bugs have already rampaged the town. And then we see that there's an ohm that was presumably in an airship that was just dropped in the middle of the city. But like, this is my question. Was it the Pajits that did it to themselves, or was it the Tolmekians?
So my understanding of these events is that the Pajit mayor lured the ohm to the town because it had already been taken over by Tolmekians, and so they evacuated as many people as they could, and then brought the bug
as a test.
Yeah, yes. And then like brought the bug there in order to wipe out the Tolmekians, And then he went, this is a fucking great idea.
We should do this more often.
Yeah, let's fucking do this again. Because also at this point they had discovered they had the Titan egg, but the Tolmekians had already been taking it hostage along with the princess and were transporting it somewhere. And so they, I guess, somehow learned that it's in the Valley of the Wind, and they devised this plan to just fucking, why stop at one? Let's get all of them.
Let's do it again.
Do it again, but to the nth
bug
power.
Trampling a town when we could do it twice.
Yeah. And so instead of a couple of giant football-sized bugs trampling a town, we're going to have, I don't know, how does 100,000 sound instead?
Okay, so can I be so fucking for real too on this part? So, okay, we've set the game. We know what the mission is. We're going to stop the Bajits from using a bait bug to demolish the valley, which, by the way, at this point, the valley people are like, oh, we found spores. We got to burn the whole forest down. And they're very upset about it. Not the old lady, though. She was into it. Anyway, we want to stop the the Bajit from doing all this. And at some point when we're flying over the swarm, like Nausicaä, she gets away and now she's about ready to okay, we're gonna find the Bajit and the baby or whatever bug they're using to lure all these home to destroy the valley. Dude, there is literally a million of these fucking things. Yeah. The way they show them is they go, what are all the red lights on the ground, which look like dots? And then you realize, because we've been exposed to this before, they do this bit where when the Ohm have red eyes, they're blinded with rage, and then when they're chill as fuck, they go back to blue eyes. Well, there's a million of these red eyes into the field, and this is all I have to say. You're telling me that Nausicaä was hanging out in the forest and she only came across one shedded Ohm carcass? One? And she even comments on it in the moment. She's like, when they see the one chasing Yupa, she's like, oh, that must be the one that shed that skin I found. I'm like, honestly, dude, you don't know. You're
probably not
sure.
Actually.
There's very clearly a lot of Ohm in this world that you are not accounting for.
Yeah. It's it feels like this moment a little bit is like a video game where enemies will just spawn in because fuck it. It's like police in GTA where they'll just appear out of nowhere because you have a 5-star wanted level, They just it's just a swarm, a tank comes out of nowhere.
It's really funny how mystifying and rare they wanted to make it feel with the Ohm in the beginning of the movie to this.
Yeah.
There's just a whole million plus swarm chasing down into the valley, and I'm just like, okay, well,
yeah,
they're more like ants than they are, single deities at a time. I think.
I know they're initially posed as these very reverent, I don't want to say objects, but reverent people or existences there, and yeah, there's just it's just again one of those things just kind of gets thrown out the window for the grandioseness of the finish. They have we already talked about it. The Titan baby ends up being hatched, but it's half baked. The bad princess goes, we're gonna use that thing now, and her counselor goes, I don't know, the thing's not really ready, and she goes, well, that's tough because I'm going to do it. And he goes, all right, cool. And so we bring out the Titan.
In the dub, she goes, if not now, then when? And I'm like, I don't know, when it's ready?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not now. Who knows? But also they're looking at a horde of 1 million ohms running at them. So I guess might as well shoot your shot. So she shoots her shot, pulls out the thing. It immediately, it has a full body, humanoid body. It's out for 5 seconds and it becomes just a torso. The back half immediately melts away, but this doesn't stop it from still being able to utilize a hyper beam.
Yeah, that's what it does. It just kind of shoots lasers out of its mouth.
And even with the hyper beam, it doesn't even come close to making a dent in the number of ohms.
No, it does not.
the amount of ohms that exist on this planet is enough to be a driving force for anything. Just you don't want the smoke. Is at the end of the day, I don't care how many of these god warriors you have. there's a million ohms out there, and they are relentless.
Hell yeah, brother.
But we kind of got into it too. I felt really bad too with when we finally realized what kind of bait they're using to make so many ohms mad, and it's a singular baby that's been stabbed a dozen times and is just being carried off and it's bleeding. I was like, oh man, not the little guy. He's just a little baby.
He's just a little dude, man. You know, these things feel like whales to me at this point in the movie, even though there is like a fucking million of them.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm just like, how dare you? How dare you harm that tiny calf? You leave that calf alone.
It didn't do nothing.
It didn't even do anything, man.
Yeah, and it's like so cute in its weird little buggy way when Nausicaä eventually calms it down and everything, and it's like, oh, hi friend, what you doing there? And it's got his little feelers, little tendrils that come out. I don't remember if before that point we did learn this when they were in the forest and like they find the water ohms.
They learn back in the forest that Nausicaä at one point when she was a child too, she befriended a baby ohm or something.
Yeah.
And then like the townspeople found out and took it away.
Oh,
and they were like,
not just the townspeople. That was her dad.
Well, yeah, her dad. Her dad took the ohm away. Yupa was there too, by the way. Everyone took it away. Everyone was a part of this plan. To sever her attachment to the bugs as a whole. I think one of them even like tries to comment and say like, "Oh no, they've bewitched her." I'm just like, oh, I wonder where this is gonna go. Then she ends up being the bug fucking messiah by the end of the movie, but maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
Nope, not even a little bit.
Yeah, so we do end up getting to the end of the conflict where the bugs are about to rampage. Nausicaä, after several trials and tribulations, she manages to get the baby bug in front of the herd.
She gets run the fuck over.
And she gets run the fuck over, to be fair. Immediately gets run the fuck over. But then after, a little bit of chaos, the calm starts to quell the main herd. We pan out. We see the millions of red eyes that are slowly turning blue from one point in the center of the herd or whatever. And it's where they realize that the child that they are trying to save is fine. It is with them again. And then Nausicaä's like she's run the fuck over. She's damaged. She's been stabbed a couple of times or shot at this point. She ain't gonna make it. The townspeople are crying. They're like, oh no, not the princess. Yeah. Then the bugs are like, but wait, watch this. Hold on. We've got something to show you guys. And they just like miraculously, they have the little these golden tendrils that come out of their like mouths, I guess, and they can just heal. They heal. I don't know what else to say. They can heal. And then they just start propping her up, and then she wakes up. She's like, "Oh, this is great!" And then she's wearing a blue outfit at this point. And then remember at the beginning, we heard about the story. And then as she's standing on all these golden tendrils, and then the blind lady's like, "Kids, tell me what's happening." And then the kids are like, "Well, she's dressed in blue for some reason. I've never seen that outfit, but she looks like she's standing in a golden field. The bugs are holding her up." And then the lady's like, "It's the Messiah."
The prophecy.
This is basically the prophecy is fulfilled. This is basically the end of the movie at this point. I just think it's really funny that not only do these tendrils like happen the way they do and make this golden field, they just heal. They just have healing magic in them for humans. Like it makes sense to me if they can heal bugs, but why are they able to heal humans? I guess because it's like a Mother Nature thing. I don't know. I'm not really here to. Yeah.
Also, they convey memories in some sense too. They're very psychic tendrils. Also,
yes. Well, that's kind of where I came to like the whale idea. Like they're clearly not dumb creatures. They have intelligence. They have like a special kind of intelligence that I think is only attributed to being both wild animals and also like with an above average level of like empathy or something like that. Like I feel like they're empathetic creatures, and they just also happen to be able to give you psychic memories and shit like that.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute little visualization, like her basically frolicking through this golden field of the ohm tendrils. Really was nice. It was a cool little moment. I enjoyed it a lot. Just the whimsy of it and music swelling as everything comes together. It's cute.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's it. We pretty much just hard ends, honestly. Like we go, all right, the Ohms fuck off. The Tolmekians presumably go home, I think. Because they're like, well, there goes our main weapon. The Pajit, I think they come in. They like join them in the valley, don't they?
I think so. Yeah, it seems to be the case.
Yeah, the Pajit come in. They're like, I guess we'll live here now. And then the Valians are like, yeah, sure, come on in, whatever. It sounds great. They learn a lot more about how the ecology of the planet works. So then they start planting trees, and they're trying to do their best to heal the planet themselves or help the process. And you know what? Love that for you guys. It's great story, great message.
Nausicaä they make more of the gliders, and Nausicaä starts teaching small children to do the crazy shit she does on the gliders throughout this movie.
Glider was sweet too, man. I love that glider.
Oh, do you? Well, Brendan,
I do. In fact,
I have
know.
Some
no,
good
I already
news
know.
for you. Oh, okay. I have good news for you and the audience. Then, an intrepid group of Japanese engineers actually went out of their way after watching this movie and loving it so much to create their own version of these gliders, and might I say, very successfully. Now, obviously, you can't stand on it and do all the crazy things that Nausicaä does in it, at least the way that they have it, because there's all the safety rigging and stuff. But the glider itself looks basically like an exact replica of the way it does in the film, which I think is extremely impressive, because that means that somewhere along the line, Miyazaki himself, 30 years ago, or before they even thought about making this thing, did his own research on whether or not this was like a feasible design, or somebody on his animation team was like, let's make this physically accurate. Like, let's make this in a way that will actually make sense and isn't just some fantasy bullshit like we slap two engines on a piece of paper and it works. And I think that that's fucking rad. That's awesome.
Totally agree.
There's a working I found a YouTube video of it. I don't know how we'll get this to the people, but maybe I could just, I'll say it's the YouTube channel is Sky Cabin Films. They have a video from 9 years ago with 1.4 million views of a very successful flight test for this. They call it the Open Sky M-02J, and it is fucking, it's awesome. It's 7 minutes. It's like 3 minutes of them doing test ground stuff, and then it's 4 minutes of one lucky dude getting to fly around, laying completely horizontal. He's not standing or anything. And just getting to have the fucking time of his life, man.
Fucking sweet.
So
I
cool.
I would love to fucking ride this thing. Oh boy, I love that fucking glider. All right.
Do you have any other fun facts about this movie? Because I got a couple other I could blow through as well.
I think I've covered all my fun facts. Most of my fun facts related to Warriors of the Wind because it was my first exposure to this property.
It's very fair. It's like the biggest one, right? Because it stems from so many things. All right. So I got a couple more then. A couple of easy things outside of the one that I just talked about. We mentioned Star Trek earlier. There's a species of aliens in Star Trek called the Nausicaans, directly referencing this movie. One of the animators of this movie, specifically that did a lot of work with the Titan scenes, would go on to co-found a very successful, well-known studio called Gainax.
Okay.
Do you know what Gainax is famous for?
I do not know them by name. No. It sounds like I'm going to know their properties, though.
You will know the biggest one. My man, his name is Hideaki Anno.
Oh, is it the one with the
Shinji, get in the mech.
Bike? Okay. Neon Genesis, amen. I thought you were gonna say he went on to make the one with the bike, the slidey bike.
Akira? No.
Yeah, Akira, that one.
No.
Never mind
he would go on to co-found Gainax, the creators of Neon Genesis Evangelion. So he got
tracks.
He got a quick hit of big humanoid thing animating, and he went, you know what, I'm gonna turn that into my own thing. Similarly, there is apparently, which, maybe we'll have to do this of our own accord at some point. There's a prequel short film titled Giant God Warrior Appears in Tokyo that depicts the events leading up to the 7 Days of Fire. So it's a short film, I believe it's a short film, 1,000 years before the events of Nausicaä, where there is, I believe it follows a singular one of these giant god warriors. And this prequel short film is written by Anno, and the voice actor for the god warrior in that short film is none other than Miyazaki himself.
You've got to be kidding me, dude. So cool.
So that's
actually wild.
Going through some of the stuff that is related to Nausicaä between Warriors of the Wind and Giant God Warrior Appears in Tokyo. Normally, I will watch movies like a day or two before we actually record, just because it'll be fresh in my mind. I can most accurately talk about a bunch of stuff. Never in my up to this point, never have I wished I had allotted myself more time. I wish so badly that I could have came into this recording having watched both Warriors of the Wind as a comparison and the time to watch Giant God Warrior Appears in Tokyo, dude. I am so sad that there might come a point where I actually just at the very least go watch Giant God Warrior and do a short recording about it. Warriors of the Wind is going to be garbage, and I know that, and I just want to have that in my back pocket.
It's going to be the same, but different and annoying.
Yeah, but Giant God Warrior, now that I want to talk about, probably.
No, this fucks. This fucks. It's only 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize it was that short.
Special.
I thought it was like 20, 30-minute thing. Okay.
Oh, no, I literally looked it up. I'm gonna find it after this and try to watch it.
Yeah. I didn't even realize it was only 10 minutes. I could have made 10 minutes time. I thought I read short film at one point and I went, this is like a 30 to 45 minute commitment. I don't know if I can do this just yet. But so yeah, that blew my mind. I was over the moon for that fun fact. Last thing I'll mention that I believe is worth mentioning is that Miyazaki himself actually made I should rewind. Nausicaä is based off of a manga that Miyazaki made.
Yes, I did know that.
Not a lot of his films, I believe maybe none of the rest of them that Ghibli makes are based off of a manga. He had this manga made. I believe he was just doing it, and he wanted to make, I believe, a thing. If I've got the story correct, I might have be getting some details backwards, but he was making a manga that he was designing specifically in a way that, or drawing and narrating and authoring in a way that wouldn't be easily translatable to any other media. And then somebody went, hey, could you turn this into something else besides a manga? And he went, I guess I'm doing this now. And he would actually go on. It was not finished by the time that they made and finished the movie. He went on to actually finish the manga after the fact, too. And there's a bunch of stuff that happens in the manga that isn't depicted in the movie, both because it takes place after the events, and also they just had to make time for certain aspects to keep it condensed.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting, too, that Miyazaki himself had created this manga and then tasked with making it into a movie.
No, I did hear that. I didn't hear about all the bits where they basically asked and they were like, hey, brother, we like what you make. Can you not make it a manga and make it an anime? And then he has to go back to his desk and be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I guess so.
Motherfucker went out of his way to use crazy intricate drawings that would not translate well in a moving setting, and then they literally asked, so they're like, so wait, can you make it move?
Yeah, and it's like all this convoluted ass lore, and they just went, so can you tell that story though?
It's like, I guess I can
change your homework, just make it a little different.
Suffering from success.
But otherwise, that's all the fun facts I got for you, Brendan.
That's all the good fun facts.
I've got this might be the most fun facts I've ever amassed for a film. Also, there was just banger after banger that I knew I had to be mentioned on the recording.
Well, I mean, when you have to contend with Warriors of the Wind, after all.
and a katana that says no cuts on it.
I should send you the original trailer for Warriors of the Wind. You might get a kick out of it.
Please, yeah.
Well, let me help you out here. I'll send it right here in the old recordings chat.
I'll take a look at it once we're done a little later.
The original trailer that was on some VHS somewhere back in the year of our Lord 1980,
in some movie theater. Awesome. Well, I guess we move on to the ending segments now, Brendan.
Man, we're there already, huh?
We're there already, as we say, an hour and a half into this recording.
I do be like that sometimes. All right, well, you know, Christian, buddy. I've got some. I'll be totally honest with you. We are not going to include English distribution numbers in this next stage of our game at all. I think it would be. I found it hard because this did not get a traditional theatrical run in the States. It only got turned into Warriors of the Wind in a VHS sense.
Yep.
And it got turned into Nausicaä, the Valley of the Wind as a Blu-ray or DVD distribution back in 20 whatever. So finding American or United States distribution numbers for this film is hard. And I don't think I would amass a lot of progress if I sat here for hours looking for it. So we're going to cut the middleman. I'm going to play our game where we judge the box office budget and the box office earnings for this film. But we will exclusively be looking in the Japanese market. And I hope that that's fair for you.
Fine by me.
All right. Fantastic. Without further ado, then, Christian, buddy, Studio Ghibli, you know him, you love him, you might not have seen all of his work. He's a swell guy. Surely this is not the last movie this motherfucker ever makes.
In fact, it's one of the first.
I'm getting ahead of myself. What do you think this movie cost to make in the year of our Lord 1983 was probably when they were drawing this up, or actually probably 1982, and then finishing it before release in 1984.
Yeah, right alongside George Orwell's novel.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I
think this is really tough because it's an animated budget, A, which we don't have a lot of on this already, and B, it's the 1980s where we don't really have a good context for what movies are, how expensive A, regular movies would be in this time, and B, animated movies. So I think your work's a little cut out for you.
Yeah, and C, foreign. Like, it could be way cheaper.
Also very true.
I have no real metric for this. So the only thing I have to go off of is the Scooby-Doo scale. And I mean, it's nowhere near a Scooby-Doo, but like,
I think it would be funny if you said it was a Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, just a $90 million animated film, which is not like crazy anymore, but for back then,
it is not.
Jeez, dude, I'm gonna say. I'm taking like basically a complete shot in the dark, and I'm gonna say $20 million.
$20 million. So for context, that's like what? Like a fifth of a Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, it's like a fourth to a fifth of a Scooby-Doo.
Okay, so that's the number you're going with, huh?
That's what I'm gonna go with.
All right, Christian. I don't do this very often. You are so off the mark. I'm begging you. You need to do an over/under on me right now. Give me a direction. Give me a direction you want to go, because you are way off.
Oh God. 20 million is way off. It's got to be lower then. There's no way it's higher than 20 million.
Okay.
Yeah, I would if my option. Yeah, I would go. It's definitely lower.
Okay, so based on my reaction. And I really want you to think about this.
Substantially lower, seemingly.
So it is an animated movie, which historically don't get huge budgets, and it's in the 1980s. I understand it's a foreign film, but brother, I think you can parse this one a little better than you just pitched. I really do.
I guess I would say single-digit millions. Then it's got to be like, is it less than 5 million? If your reaction is this drastic, it's gotta be less than 5 million. I'll say it cost them like $3 million to make this movie.
Okay. Christian, I'm so thankful that you finally are in a reasonable area for what I would anticipate a movie of this caliber. It is with a heavy heart that I still have to tell you that you have demonstrably overestimated.
Oh my God.
Buddy, this budget was only $758,000.
Oh my God, dude. Okay.
It was basically made for peanut. Dude, 1980s shit is cheap. You can get a Big Mac meal for like $1.95. Like this tracks. In fact, I'm going to look it up right now. $758 after inflation is $758,000, not $758.
What's it gonna be? 758,000. That probably turns into like, I don't know, 8 million.
Turns into, in accounting for blah, 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 758 is what I put.
That probably still way off, but
7, 5, 8, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. Now, brother, would you believe me if I told you it's 2.5 million? You're much closer. If you would have guessed that number and this movie was made in 2025, you would have been in the ballpark. But $758,000 is what we had back in the year of our Lord 1980, whatever.
I was too enthusiastic, hoping that the animators got paid, and I mean maybe back then that was good for them.
Back
who
then
knows?
They did. They got paid. Inflation's a bitch, dude. You gotta be you gotta be ready for inflation to fuck you in the ass. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But yes, it was a budget of $758,000. All right, now Christian, now we've done the part where we've got you centered on a reasonable figure for a budget. Now, what did it make? Now, I want to help you out again. Now, historically, the Japanese people, they actually don't go to the movies that often in like almost any decade. They do have their own, movie industry, but similarly to a lot of other like European and Asian countries, they have our movies there for whatever fucking reason. We apparently have the biggest foothold in the Hollywood market. I don't know why. Other like nations like going to our movies and they will gladly watch it with subtitles, which makes no fucking sense to me. I hate subtitles. That's a conversation for another fucking day. What do you think the people of Japan did when this movie hit their theaters? Do you think that it made, lost? Although then again, it's Ghibli. Ghibli always sells. So how much did it sell?
I mean it's Ghibli, but this was technically the before Ghibli's. Like this, Ghibli didn't actually exist yet when this movie is attributed as a Ghibli, but it wasn't actually.
He's right.
He would go on after this movie to form his own Studio Ghibli, and then make all the works we know and love today. So like he's not probably as well known yet for filmmaking. However, I'd venture a guess that it probably still made money and that people probably still went to go see it. I think it had to have made money. I'm gonna go with, but if it's just Japanese markets, I'm gonna say we probably made a couple $1 million. I'm gonna recycle my $3 million guess from the budget and now attribute it to the gross movie number.
I think that's a fair that's a reasonable attack. I think I like where your head's at. I really do. Is that your final answer?
That's going to be my final answer. I'm locking in $3 million again.
Okay, so inversely to what you did before, now you severely undershot. It still made $14 million, brother. Come on, this is a slam dunk, dude.
It made 14 mil? Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
People loved this fucking shit when it came out.
Okay, good. I'm happy about this one. I mean, I guess I'm happy both ways. They didn't need to spend a lot of money
by saying
please go on. No. I insist.
I was gonna say I tried to take you off the scent by saying, like, Japan historically they don't really go to the movies. They don't even really make their own movies that often that are an anime. But like when they do go to the movies, they go hard.
To the
this
movies.
This is a $14 million property.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy. I'm happy both ways. It didn't take them that much money to make, and they made a killing off of it. They made like 1,000% margin on that.
Hell yeah, brother. So there you go. That's the history of the box office numbers for Nausicaä, the Valley of the Wind.
Incredible.
Anyways, is it my turn now? I can't wait to be a big dumb idiot for my question.
No, it's fine. Yes, it is Letterboxd review time. I've got 5 reviews here for you, and
oh boy,
there are some reviews of all time. All right, let's dive right in.
Let's dive in, dude.
Let's dive in. All right. I was told this was the weakest of Hayao Miyazaki's movies. But if that's the case, it's a glowing testament to the great co-founder's work. For the first Ghibli movie, though not Miyazaki's first directing role, I was incredibly impressed by the scale this had. Like, they really went all out with the first shot. I love the world of this movie. While I never wondered how Ghibli would tackle a post-apocalyptic scenario, and I was incredibly impressed they went for something different from anything else I've seen. The conflict between submitting to nature's will or burning it all is fascinating, and all the designs for the ships and creatures are fantastic to look at. I also genuinely thought everyone was gonna die at the end. Part of me thinks that would have been a better conclusion to the story. Overall, it may not be the best Ghibli. It's one of their biggest landmarks, and the one that was starting point of their masterful animation studio. Smiley face.
Wow. I think obviously that's a glowing review. I do think that it fell shy of the 5, just based on like the way they sort of coaxed their full opinion of the hard elements of especially at the end of the movie. I'm going to say, is it the 4 or 4.5? 4 or 4.5. I'm going to go with a 4.5 is my final answer.
Now, when you say 4.5, are you utilizing the Letterboxd index that we came up with a couple of reviews ago too, or?
I know where you're coming from, but that should only apply to Mr. Gilliam's properties. So I think this is an earnest 4.5.
Mm-hmm. Well, Brendan, I tried to give you a helping hand on this first one.
I feel like you did, but I didn't want to budge just because you were giving me a layup. I gotta stick to my guns.
No, that's fair. This was a 3.5. This person 3.5. This person gave that glowing review, and then at the end said it could have used more puddles or whatever.
Okay, never mind. We're letterboxed again. You can't escape it. It's everywhere. It's infectious.
Oh yeah, buddy. It is like the spores. It spreads like a wildfire.
Fuck me, dude. What the hell, dude? You came out here with like an actual, like a thoughtful, like well-pined like review, and you're just like, anyway, 3 out of 5. Fuck you.
Okay, next one. Got 50 minutes into the film and decided to call it quits.
Oh,
Simply couldn't bring myself to watch anymore. While I admire the art style, the animation itself has aged badly over time. Fucking wild.
Disagree.
And has left a lot to be desired. Biggest problem for me is the story itself. I felt like so much happened in the first 50 minutes, and it felt like there was little explanation, leaving me utterly clueless to what was going on. In the grand scheme of things, I was bored and confused, and none of the characters had enough depth for me to care about any of them, leaving me with zero desire to finish the film.
Yeah, I'll say this. I disagree with his take. I think he threw he might be a 0.5 star in there, and that'll probably be my guess. I don't disagree wholesale with his opinion that the movie happens at you or comes at you fast, and it is hard to really gravitate to any particular character. Like, if you don't gravitate to Nausicaä, then you're basically just watching a slideshow because you're not going to be paying attention to most of these other characters that aren't Yupa. But like, to say that the animation doesn't age or that
Crazy.
Like it doesn't hold your attention if you choose to give it your attention, that's wild. Like you're just being a contrarian at that point. So anyway, this guy gave it a 0.5 star. I don't think he's totally mistaken in his gripes, but like I think that he's giving it a huge hand wave saying like, nah, this is garbage, when that is absolutely not the case. It is not garbage. It definitely takes a little bit of you have to be ready for the amount of exposition you get very quickly in the beginning of the movie. I do think that's a fair take, but fuck this guy.
Yeah, I think I agree with just about all of that. Sometimes it does feel like the characters are just kind of one note. Even Nausicaä herself is very like direct in who she is. It's just
you know very... exactly who she is the moment you meet her, really.
Yeah,
I mean, well, maybe not the moment you meet her, but like once she meets Yupa and like she like has like a minute on your screen to like be the one who's like calling the Ohm that's like rampaging through the desert and whatnot. You're like, okay, I get who she is. I understand.
Yeah. So I think the characters do have depth. What I think maybe this person really means when they say depth is that they don't change much. There's not a lot of things that happen to really change the characters' opinions on much. They're all pretty solid in what they think and do. So anyway, you said this is a half star. You were close. It's a 1-star review.
All right. I knew it was a 1 or a half. I figured maybe this guy was going to give it the half.
Yeah, this person, totally not a fan. And you know what? It's not for everyone, but...
It's not for everyone. That's fine.
Totally
you know
fine.
What?
I wonder if maybe they watched Warriors of the Wind instead and then just commented on Nausicaä but by accident, but who knows?
Maybe. You never know. You can't be too sure.
You really can't know for sure. You know what? Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna mid game here. Letterboxd.com. I want to see if Warriors of the Wind has its own entry on here.
Oh, on Letterboxd?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's a great question. I feel like no. I don't think it does.
It does not.
Yeah, I would be shocked
if you Google or if you put Warriors of the Wind into their search, Nausicaä is the first thing that comes up though. So this person might.
It's a non-zero chance that they watched Warriors of the Wind.
It's a non-zero chance. There's also some seemingly looks like Chinese movie called Warrior of the Wind from 1964. That's live action though. It's not animated. All right. Anyway, I've got a short and sweet one here for you that I'm going to tell you I recognize right off the bat offers little in the way of context for you to be able to actually guess the stars, but I just love the review so much, so I'm going to read it for you. This is in brackets, as if it were like stage directions. Puts a cup over the bug and lets it go outside instead of killing it, close brackets. This one's for you, Nausicaä.
Hold on, that's a great review. That's a fucking diamond review right there. Shit. Fuck. That's gotta be... Is that the 5? No, I don't think that's the 5. I think they're a memer for sure. I just don't know if they're a 5 memer on that. I think that's a 4 out of 5.
You think that's a 4 out of 5?
4 out of 5.
All right. Well, Brendan, despite the lack of context, you nailed it. It was a 4 out of 5 review.
Perfect. I just gotta channel my inner Letterboxd fucking idiots.
Yeah,
and I can meme with the best of them.
Absolutely. All right. Moving on to something with a little bit more substance to it now. I was struck in the opening moments by how the toxic forest reminded me of every depiction I've seen of the cherry blossoms falling, but warped and broken. That twisting of natural beauty told the entire story. Details remained unclear. Was this Earth or somewhere else? But the fundamental truth was there. This was a version of what we know and love turned vile. Somewhat directly, this peeled itself to reveal an environmental and anti-nuclear message, but the core of it echoes out beyond those self-destructive concerns. Those echoes might be drowned out by the insistence of the film's setting and themes to address nature, from the wind to the bugs, to the natural perils of cloud and quicksand, but human interaction, especially war, is also ever present. This as much then about our relationships with each other as about our relationships to the world, and that allows the direct line between the two. If we do not repair our own interactions, we doom the entire world. And it must be said, the insect designs were eerily beautiful.
Wow, what a profound review. 2 out of 5. I'm just kidding.
Nailed it.
I'm just fucking kidding. No, I think I love this guy, whoever he is. I love your words anyway. I might hate your rating, but I love your words. I'm gonna go on a limb. 5 out of 5. This is it. This is the 5. This is the
5.
They put too much effort into it.
Well, I mean that other person with the with the 3.5 star review.
That was like 2 sentences. This guy wrote a book.
I mean, it's pretty. Well, you got it. It's 5 stars.
I knew it. You see why you holding me back?
It's a good. Yeah, you clocked it. Is pretty. Yeah, this person, fucking whoever they are, loves this film, and they have clearly thought a lot about it, and I love them for that.
Facts.
All right, I've got. You're 2 for 4, Brendan. And I've got one more review for you to guess on.
Let's fucking go, dude.
All right. This one's going to be a little shorter. Okay. Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind is remarkable how much imaginative world building and vibrant animation can compensate for a lackluster story.
Oh no.
Hollow and unfocused, yet utterly enchanting from beginning to end.
Okay. Maybe like in a vacuum, maybe I don't like disagree with you, but like you're saying some very harsh, you're giving very harsh cutoffs to, it's not a hollow story. It's a very clear story. It knows exactly the story it wants to tell. It just maybe could have done so with a little more nuance. I think maybe it's almost too plain at times is possibly its problem. But anyway, Raspberry. I'm gonna say it's not. I don't think it's the high end. I think it's a lower end. I'm gonna say 3. I don't think you'd give me 2 3.5s. I'm gonna say it's a 3 out of 5.
A 3 out of 5. That I
would normally have said a 3.5, but you gave me a 3.5, and I'm gonna say it's a 3 out of 5.
And you're positive I wouldn't just double up on the same star rating?
Now I'm less positive. So anyway, my answer was 3.5. 3.5 stars out of 5.
Is that? Are we definitely locking that one in this time?
Yes, I'm locking that one in, and I swear to fucking God, if you talk to me out of 3, it's 3 out of 5, and it's a 3 out of 5, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Well, I actually talked you farther away from the actual star rating because this was a 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Man. All right, well, I'll accept that.
This person gave it a straight down the line 50 out of 100 at perfectly average film.
Fair. Understood. I mean, I don't agree with them. I do think this movie is like a bona fide 7.5 out of 10. I do think it has flaws. I'm not gonna say it's a perfect film, but it is I would say it's a magical experience, and I would recommend anyone watch it at some point in their lifetime because it is a very fun time. It is basically the poster child of your classic anime movie in my mind. Like if you don't want to sit through Akira like for 2.5 hours or whatever, or if you don't get Akira, watch Nausicaä. It's a great time.
I have one other review very quick that I'm just gonna read to you because I, like the other one, found it funny. I just don't feel the need to make you guess on it.
Yes, sir.
This is actually the most liked review on Letterboxd for Nausicaä.
Well, shit.
This person,
I would have expected the bug one to be the most liked one because that's a great meme.
that is a good meme, but this person hit on something that I also wondered deeply about in for the first maybe 20 minutes of the movie and could not shake the feeling of it until I went out of my way to get confirmation otherwise. This person says, the amount of relief I felt when I realized she was in fact wearing pants.
Wearing pants, yeah.
And let me tell you, Brendan,
yeah,
I was very scared in the first time she shows up on screen, and you get right up in there, and I'm like,
full cheek,
okay,
full cheek.
We're just doing that, huh? Like we're not only are we doing this, but Nausicaa's going commando everywhere. Fucking Christ. Okay. Yeah, she's just wearing extremely skin tone color pants. That changes eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very interesting choice by the animators on that one.
Yeah. I actually did read something about this briefly. I just didn't investigate further. There was some annotation about the fact it looks that way, something to do with like the compression of it being converted, like when they make it into the VHSs or something like that. Something along those lines. like from the original version, like its normal coloration got washed out a little bit and made it closer to her skin tone, and then you get the version where it looks like she's not wearing any pants.
Incredible. I'm glad we all had that universal experience.
Yeah. By the way, that was a 3.5 stars review.
3.5 review. 3.5
stars. They're very worried, and it's the most liked one on Letterboxd.com. We did it, Brendan. We made it.
Did you even give your rating of this movie? Do you have anything out of 5? Anything out of 10 for this?
I think I largely agree with you. I think this is a solid like 7.5 movie. I had fun. As far as Ghibli's go, it's not, of the ones that I've watched, it's not the top. I think I would need to watch I remember like I said at the top of the show, I remember
Princess Mononoke is fire.
Mononoke is really good, and Mononoke maybe after talking about Nausicaä for the last hour, almost 2 hours, I think I'm gonna revise my statement and say that I probably like Mononoke better still. Nausicaä is good, but it has the problems that we've already talked about and is like fairly straightforward in what it's trying to tell you. So yeah,
I would love to see a version of Nausicaä that is a little bit more intellectual and less in your face with the moral it's trying to pitch. Because, like, I feel like it's very easy to understand exactly what morals it's trying to put in front of you. Like, yes, we understand. Destroying the planet for monetary, political, or land gain is bad. Also abusing the local ecology for the same aim is also poor, and we should just learn to live in harmony. Yes, these are all things we understand. Teach me that with a little less like grade level interpretation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of smart sometimes. I can figure it out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think 7.5 is a solid rating for that.
Love the world though. I would love to see this world in like again, honestly, fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. But
fair enough. Thanks for joining me, buddy.
Yeah, of course. I'm more than happy to.
All right. If you don't mind me, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, are you gonna do the end bit or?
Oh shit! Yeah, I should probably do that, huh? Hold on. We have a script now, and I want to make sure I get the script right. Where is said script? This is my first time doing it with the script.
Well, that script is on the other sheet for Opwall. It hasn't been transcribed over to the Panda View sheet.
All right. Well, then I'm just gonna do it off the cuff. If people hate it, then they can.
That's how we've always done it anyway, right?
Anyway, if you like what you heard, you can follow us on our socials at Panda Sightings. If you want to talk to us or send us email, you can email us at pandasightings@gmail.com. We very recently have a new way to support us. Christian, what is that new way to support us?
It's our very own website, pandasightings.com, baby.
You can go to our very own domain for pandasightings.com, and we have ways for you to support us there if you'd like to support us. Otherwise, we love the fact that you're listening. And shoot, do we even need to? Oh, we also still have a Redbubble, so you can also go on Redbubble and find our merch. Panda Sightings, search Panda Sightings, you'll find it.
Yeah, we still got the stickers. There's plenty of stuff up there. Join the Discord and hang out with a bunch of people. This will, as the conclusion to the socials thing, this is probably going to be the last movie recording for a little while because we're shaking up how we do the rewards or the benefits for supporting us at different levels. Now, if you go to pandasightings.com, I haven't been there in a while since it's been updated. So I hopefully at this point the different monetary tiers have listed what each thing comes with. We have 3 tiers, and a lot of what we're going to try and shift our efforts towards now are, instead of doing consistent movie recordings, there'll be a lot of behind the scenes sort of content where you can either get some recordings early for One Piece with a Lime, or if we do any other Panda Sighting stuff, like miscellaneous stuff, you'll probably, if anything goes up on Panda View, you'll get a little bit more of what Justin really likes this to be, which is just kind of us talking and at microphones. and maybe even cameras one day.
Maybe.
So we've tested a bunch of different things where we have like a little studio area made up in Jordy's current apartment, but also stuff where we can maybe take recordings on the go and still be able to tap Brendan and Devin in potentially, and it's going to be pretty cool if we can manage to get it all worked out. So don't be sad that there's not going to be as many movie recordings anymore. Be happy that we are finding the freedom to do more cool and exciting stuff.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you, Christian, with the layup on the socials and explaining that to the audience. If you don't mind me, I think I'm gonna go hang out with Yoba and Yupa.
Sick, dude. High five.
Sweet. Also, yeah, we were gonna talk about that again. I don't know, dude. It's late. We need to talk about the history of the high five.
But you promised.
I know, but man, I didn't know we were gonna talk about this for 2 hours. We'll do a special recording. I'll be back tomorrow. I promise.
Fine. You heard him, listeners. If there isn't a high five recording at some point in the near future, it's Brendan's fault. He quit on me again.
Dude, honestly, like, they can blame me. I ain't coming tomorrow.
No. Fine. Go have fun with your twin brothers or whatever. I don't care.
Yo, thanks, dude. Peace.
Rather than sort of a gritty, hard-edged, villainous kind of, stereotyped villainous voice, they wanted me to be more warm, which I think is wonderful because the conflict is always set in motion by the so-called villains.